Before Drag Race, I would get a taxi, but yeah, since Drag Race, I've got a driver, so they just drive me everywhere.
What?
Yeah, fabulous lesbian, just takes me all around the country.
I get on the subway in full quiche, and I'm just like, I'll like read the newspaper so that I blend in, you know, and just pray for the best. Hey everybody, it's me, Miss Cracker, and I am in New York City.
Hello, it's me, Baga Chipz, MBE, and I am all the way in the United Kingdom.
And today, we're gonna talk about the similarities and differences
between drag in our cities.
All right, let's do it.
So, Cracker, what was your first time performing in drag in your city like?
The first time I ever performed in drag, I wore this like blue polyester tube dress with hot pink undergarments and an Amy Winehouse wig, and I did Christina Aguilera's Something Got a Hold on Me while holding a d***o. And it makes me think of New York drag because New York drag queens are always trying to pull a stunt. Confetti cannons, which is a New York cliche. They're gonna do stage blood, they're gonna bring a d***o, they're gonna have a reveal. Like, it's all wild stuff.
Well, the first time I performed in drag was a bit like you, Cracker. I did Amy Winehouse. A pair of denim shorts, some ballet pumps and a bra.
I love the fact that we both have food names. My original drag name was Brianna Cracker, after my favorite snack, Brie on a cracker. And it only became Miss Cracker later when I found out somebody else had that name, so I just shortened it to Miss Cracker. What about you?
In America, chips are what we call crisps, but in Britain, a bag of chips is like thick fries. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they're wrapped in newspaper from a fish and chip shop. So Baga Chipz. The real story is I was out in a gay bar. A guy was kissing my face, snogging me all night. An hour later, I see him kissing someone else in the corner, and I was like, "What?" And I said to him, "Why do you want a McDonald's cheeseburger when you can have prime steak?" And he said to me, "Prime steak, more like a bag of chips." And I was like, "What?"
Oh my God!
What is the most popular style of drag in your city?
There's two styles of drag in New York City. There's the club kid style, which is like androgynous and makeup oriented. Then there is the Broadway queen, a fierce leotard, short French tip nails, and like a high pony. And I think that those are the two kinds of drag that sort of compete against each other.
Yeah, a bit like you, Cracker. In London, we have, it's called the East End, and we've got, you're called an East London queen, and that's when you've got like your androgynous, bearded queens, hairy armpits, angle grinding off their pussy, and just like really club kiddie makeup, clown white face, and they do like a performance art piece of like cooing in a martini glass and being like a dirty martini. And then you've got the other kind of queens that are like sing live, West End, Broadway, big massive lace front wig, sequin gown, singing I Will Survive on stage. But I respect both kinds. I've been to both types of show, and I've enjoyed both. I would never disrespect anyone's art. I would just be like, "Oh, it's not my cup of tea, I'm just gonna go."
It's not my martini glass of poop, you know? Baga, you're a slag, but you have your limits. Is there any song that you refuse to perform?
I'm not gonna lie, I can't rap. So if I'm on stage singing New York, New York by Liza Minnelli, don't shout in the audience, "Can you sing Cardi B's WAP?" What have you been watching? What song or artist would you never do? What would you refuse never to perform?
All and every song by Kylie Minogue.
How can you immediately tell when a queen is from your city?
If you are on a train somewhere, or you're like out of town and you see a 6 foot tall femme football player with not one eyebrow hair, you're like, that is a New York City queen.
With Drag Race, obviously it's a big American franchise, and that's where British queens started seeing like padding and breastplates. Now I have to wear corsets and hips, and before I was just a lazy bitch that would just sing beautifully. I'm wearing a long gown because I don't want to wear tights, my balls hurt. I'm always tucking it back. Like if I fart, I give myself a job. It's like, you know what I mean? I just want to let it hang loose and wear my caftans and...
If I fart, I give myself a job. The new book coming out from Perseus Press by Baga Chipz. It's a series of essays. You should really read it.
In London, I used to perform at a brilliant little cosy, very old school drag bar called the Admiral Duncan. And it's on Old Compton Street in Soho, and it's like proper old school drag. I mean, the Feather Boas, Shirley Bassey, Tina Turner, Dolly Parton. I performed there for about, oh my God, 10 years every Sunday. But then on a Thursday, I do GAY Porn Idol at Heaven with Jeremy Joseph, and that was more for the Drag Race audience, more for the younger audience. I think every single drag queen off Drag Race has done Porn Idol.
Yeah.
It's just lovely to see younger fans, but then also doing the Admiral Duncan and the Two Brewers in Clapham and Halfway to Heaven, which is right by Heaven. And they're more the cabaret bars, and then Heaven's more the big, massive. I think it's one of the biggest clubs in Europe, gay bars. So they've had people like Madonna, Adele, Mariah Carey, me. They get all the big names.
Okay, so New York City, in order of size, because hello. First of all, there's Industry, which is on 52nd Street. And it's like, if you have a mega career in New York City, you have a show at Industry and all the main queens are there. And it has a proscenium, okay? She has a curtain on the stage, and that's when you know you have made it, when you have a curtain on your stage. Then, owned by the same person, but much more intimate, is a place called Barracuda. This tiny little narrow, like railroad apartment type bar with a micro stage with like a brick wall like you're at a comedy club. It is also a powerhouse bar. That's one of my favorite places to perform because you don't have to dance that much. You just have to make it between the chair legs. Last of all, uptown is Sweet Bar. It's on 109th Street. It's basically like someone put a bunch of Saturday Night Fever disco lights in a Starbucks. It's really the size of a studio apartment, and it has everybody from like fresh college students to crusty alcoholics on their last chair leg.
That sounds like my kind of place.
Right?
Is there a window open?
No, that's just how
Okay.
she is. We live right next to a dump, so that's the sound of the garbage trucks coming from the city. Hello.
We have a chain of pastries called Greg's.
Yes.
And it's making my mouth water just thinking about it. Greg's in the UK is the holy grail of pastry goods. You name it, cheese and onion bake, chicken bake. Do you know what a pasty is? Like a pasty?
No, is that something you put over your nipples?
I know what you mean, like pasties. But a pasty is like, it's just like pastry, and it's just filled with meat. You know what I mean?
Oh,
like,
yeah. I'm with you.
And I order about, I'll get like 5, and I just eat them.
For me, my favorite post-gig meal, there's this place called the Cosmic Diner, and I like to go there and get a veggie burger with chips. I eat it with a fork and a knife because I'm a lady. I just pack it all in above my corset, you know, where you, like the food just kind of sits there right under your tits. And that is the meal that we come together for. Like all the girls after their shows will come gather at the Cosmic Diner to just kiki about everything that went on that night and which drag queen slapped which audience member and who's been fired for what. And that's part of the meal too, is not just like the food, but the gossip. Oh, loud, sweaty, and fierce.
I would say culture, because the surroundings and the history of just the buildings and the venues. Diverse, because there is so many types of drag in London. And the last one, I would just say community, because we've all got each other's back in London, you know what I mean?
I'd say the best thing about New York City is the fearlessness. The queens in New York City fear nothing, and that's why we do well in the world.
I would say the best thing about London is we've just got this rich history, you know what I mean? It's thousands of years of history. Peter Pan has flew past Big Ben, so it's a very historic building. It's Peter Pan.
You have a deep understanding of history, and I appreciate it. Oh.
Won't. It's too Lady Gaga 2000, and when she first came out, Poker Face, it's happened, let's move on. And it's just it's a very, can I speak to the manager wig.
Whoa.
Wearing those with tights, it just looked like a big camel toe on your foot. And
Come on, Moose Knuckle.
oh, wig. If I had the body, wig, because I am not showing my stomach or belly button to anyone.
We love a sequin moment, we love feathers, and sometimes they don't interact well, but for that first performance that you are on stage, it's everything.
I'd go to the shops in that, amazing.
Wig.
Yeah, wig, you can't beat a bit of animal print, a bit of leopard print. Leopard print will always be in fashion.
I love a big print. Oh, wig.
Oh God, she's got my wig on.
I know, she's wearing the same wig. I wig do it, yeah. We love a Marie Antoinette wig with a fascinator also, because you can't do too much.
I would wear that just sitting on the toilet.
What's happening? It looks like Rock'em Sakura ran into blue hydrangea at 6,000 miles per hour in a particle accelerator, and this is what came out the other side.
It's like, I don't know what it is. It's just, I'm speechless.
Yeah.
Bob?
I think you would wear this if you were doing an impersonation night. I think you would do a nice Velma Kelly from Chicago.
Or even Velma from Scooby-Doo.
It's a Velma.
Yeah, I know what you mean. You can't beat a bob.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's one of those wigs you can just throw in your handbag.
All right, last one. This shoe.
Oh, wig.
They're just not slutty enough. I like, you know what I mean? When it comes to footwear, I like to be a total slag. I mean, I like to look like I've just done a shift on the pole. I think if I wore them, they'd be like, right, I know Baga's earning a bit of money, but she's turning a bit posh now. And Baga's not posh.
Thank you so much, Baga, for talking with me today. I don't think I have to repeat myself. You know I cannot wait to be back.
I'm coming to New York as well, so we need to meet up. I miss you loads, love you loads, and let's party, and we'll have a veggie burger together.
Yay!
Oh, I've got to look in the camera, sorry. Thank you, them. This has been so much fun.
And we'll see you next time.